Hello everybody, this is Simeonski. Welcome to another Rec Room tutorial. In this one, I'm gonna explain to you one of the mechanics that I used in my games and also show you how you can build this mechanic into your game step by step. Today I'm gonna explain to you or continue my explanation of Dialog UI systems. And this will be the more advanced version how you can use these systems. As an example, I have here my room that's called Bible Experience, where I have this guy over here that represents myself, explaining a little bit about the room. This is with audio narration. I will not explain to you how this works because this is even more complicated than the system I'm gonna explain to you now, but it's basically a UI, but you can not just click once, but you can click, and there's not just coming an explanation, but there's also different things that you can choose as an answer, and it's kind of a system that leads you through like explanation, narration, step by step. So this is what we want to build right now. So I will move from very simple that you already learned in the last tutorial, so I will not go through that anymore. Just watch the last tutorial about that, but we will have our Dialog UI again, put it in the room. Here we go. And I will use a button for now to set up this Dialog UI, and just for the sake of showing you what I'm changing, I will do the same that I showed you before. Set the title this way, set the body text, set the button state, and I will only have 2 buttons for this, so I will put button 3 and 4 to false. You can have 4 buttons as well, but then you will need to advance the system a little bit more. So we keep this just title, body text we will say, yeah, we keep it all as it is for now. So now you can do this with the like button press, of course, but you can also, so the simplest way to change this is the Dialog UI and find the thing that's called Dialog UI set dialog text. So what can this do? This can basically be that you use this 2 times, and depending on what button you press, the text will change. This could already be something that would be helpful if you just have this one single box that's explaining and you have like the 4 most important questions that people could ask or concerning a section. This could already be enough for you maybe. So we don't even need to more complex. So you just connect this target to the top over here. And then if the button is pressed, you can basically change the body text to what you want it to be. Let's say text 1 and text 2. So, but this can basically only change the text up there. So this is the first text, body text, and then if you press this button we have text 1, press this button we have text 2. So you cannot really make more complex systems with this. But there is a way to make more complex systems, and I will go through this now step by step from the easiest to the most complicated. And this would be that instead of setting the things like that, we will be using an event receiver or a special event to set our box. This can also help if you want to have different buttons in the room that tell this box something different to show. Sure, you can use it for that. But for this we will make a very special event right now. And this event we will call, you can call it whatever you want, but I will call it DUI, Dialog UI. And the most important thing about this event is that we add properties here. So we want to have, so I'm making it as easy as possible, but so you just get how it works, and then you can make it more complex. We will have the text as a string. We will have the text for the button 1, button 1, also as a string. And we will have button 2 as string variable as well. So now this is our specialized event that we will use to set the text of this. How do we do this? Basically, first thing is super easy. We have our event receiver, and we basically want to put the event receiver in the beginning of this whole line and choose this event, and then we want to put the event sender 2 times at the end of this event, and also choose our DUI. Okay, what this does now is we will put this, basically we can put it how do we put it? We basically want to put another event sender here in between, because basically you cannot put an event receiver in a line, because it's only triggered when the event is sent. So in order to actually set first, when you push the button, we will set this once to the title and this, and we will put the text in here that will be sent afterwards to our buttons. So this will be first text, and we will just call the buttons B1 and B2, so we can see that things are changing. B1 and B2. And so this will send out an event, and this and turn on the box. And then we will have to connect the event receiver to the set text option, and the set text option to the set button state, and then connect what's ever going in here to the text, and the buttons to the buttons. We also already have them at false. And now if I press this, it will do the same. It will be first text, B1, B2. And then, but what will happen if I press button 1, it will, instead of just changing the text as we had it before, we can have second text here. And we can also change the names of the buttons. B3. According to what we are pressing before. And for this, if you press button 2, it will be third text, and B5 and B6. Okay, this should already work. So if I'm pressing this now, the first text will come. If I'm pressing this button, second text will come. I'm pressing this button, third text will come, and also this will be changed by the system. But as you see, we only have the 2 options again. Yes, it's also changing the buttons, but if I press the button below, it will always be the third text. If I press the top button, it will always be the second text. This might already be enough for you, but we want to go more complex in this. So how do we do this? We will have to add some more variables. And what are these variables? This is actually the variable that will tell this button where to go and where to get the input from when we press it. So this is super easy. We just add an integer for b1. Let's call it b1 goto, so it's more clear what it does, and b2 goto. Of course, if you have more than 2 buttons, you will have to do this for every single button you have. And this means your system will become more complex quite fast, just so that you know. And you will have to think a little bit more. So instead of changing these things directly, let's disconnect them for now. We will go to a third system, and this will basically show something different depending on what button we have pressed. How can we do this? We can do this by using our variable, our integer variables. So we will have an integer here, integer variable, and let's call this question number. So, and there we already almost have it. So before we are sending out this variable, we will basically have our question number. So we have to copy this twice, be set to whatever comes out there. Yes, this sounds a little bit complicated, but I hope you will understand what it does once I do it. So we will go to this, and if button 1 is pressed, the question number will change to whatever is set in here. And if you press button 2, the question number will be changed to whatever is set in here. And so we can make a easy to set up but a little bit harder to maintain system that changes what is written here and where it goes to depending on these question numbers. So basically this is a pass-through thing here. We will have a lot of if options. So we basically have a line here of ifs. If question number equals, so we have the equals, then basically it will set it the way we want to set it. Otherwise it will continue the line, so to speak. And then you of course you have to be creative. So we connect this, no, not to this. We connect both of those to the if chip. Doesn't matter what you press, it will always check the same thing. And it will check if question number equals, and then we put a certain number. And then it will do this. Otherwise it will continue with basically the same thing here. Select. Let's do this 3 times now, but you can continue as long as you want, but you need to kind of keep an order and understand where things lead you. I will explain this later. You can, for example, do it with using different numbers, maybe not using just 1 and 2, but using 1, 1 for subcategories of the first question or something like that. Or for explanation how it works, I will just go up to 3 now, but you could continue this however long you want it. You just have to be a little bit intentional on where people are led. So if If we press this, out is 0, no problem. Question number will be 0, so we know if question number is 0, because it didn't change, it's 0 from the beginning, we say equals 0, or to make it more easy, we can also do the even send of 1 now to 1. The first question will be 1. And then we just check if equals 1. Then we will have the thing called first text. Okay, third text is now, I messed it up a little bit, but it's alright. And the button will be, it's going to the buttons 2 and 3. And now you can see how you need to be a little bit intentional about this. So if it's 1, then it will set the text to be third text and B5 and B6 here now. And if it's not 1, it will just continue the line and not trigger anything. So we will see, this is, we will make this to a 2 and this over here to a 3. And you see, you can go on as long as you want. It just always shows the thing, if you set it up right, that basically has the same number. So we will have to, oh no, I set it up wrong. Else always connected to the if chip. And then it ends here. And this would be the second text already there. And we could, for example, go back to 1 and 1 here now. But of course, you could do something here if you have a subsystem. Let's say you have always 3 categories. Then you would maybe say category 1 is what about this room? The category 2 is what about the creator? The third one could be what about Rec Room in general? Of course, then you can set it up in a way that it's not like 1, 2, 3, but you could also just say, okay, this is question 1. And we want, if people press this, people want to be led to the second phase, but this will not continue with 2, but it will be, for example, with 1, 1 and 1, 2. Just that makes it more convenient. You can only use numbers in this system, but that would mean that you say like, okay, 1, 1 is the first answer for question 1. And 1, 2 would be the second answer for question 1. And then I would type it in like this, simply. And of course, then you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. But you can also just set the buttons to, for example, here, we don't want to go deeper. We want this go to 1, 1 and this to 2, 1, 2, yeah. And whatever we press here, we want to have a different text, yes, but when we want to go back, yeah, for this example, we could have 2 buttons that say go back. And here you can see how you can make this even more advanced. You could, for example, and let's just try it first before I say something about making it more advanced. Go back with reset to the 1. And let's do it here as well, but call it just final. And okay. And it should trigger, of course. Here we go. So let's try this. So we have the first text. If I press this, it should go to the third text. And this is the second, and now it's going back to the first. Didn't I set it right? B. No, it should work. Question number. B pressed. Question number should go to 11. Why didn't it go to 11? Ah, now it's 11. So it's going back. Interesting. So when it's setting all these, it sends the event, sets it to 11. Yes, this should actually beep, set it to, okay, now it's 11, and 11 is this one. It should go to, okay, yeah. Why is it 11 now? Press the button. Okay, if I press the button, it goes to whatever came out here, and then it checks the question number. So I have I almost did it right, but and that's also something, if you will have to test a lot and see where am I not thinking right. So if the question number is 11, then it should go to this, set the number, probably I'm wrong somewhere in between this part. So what does it do? So, and then what you also can do sometimes if things like this happen, you can have a show component thing here. So I'm going back, first text. Okay. Shouldn't it be setting pressed, go to? Sends this to this. So here it should already. Okay. So what we will have to do here is, instead of putting this between here and here, we can keep all this, but we wanna set the question numbers. No, that's right. The question numbers can only be set to go to this. Why is it still at 11? Okay, 1, 1. There's coming out a 1 here, and when I press this, the 1 should go in here, and it should come out here. And this is the same, so it should take it from here. So it's actually set up right. The only thing I can imagine what's happening here right now is that the system doesn't see that I set the question number quick enough. So what we can do to help this is to put a delay in between that. So this happens sometimes, especially if you have complex things. It's good to show you that this is how Rec Room works. You sometimes have to fiddle a little bit. So now the question number will be set to rather, this time both will be set to 1. That we will put a delay of 1 second in between, just to make sure that the if check if question number 11 equals, yeah, now it's not 1, but it should be 1 if I press the button, actually, because, yeah, the input is 1, I press it, the input comes here, the output is, yeah, now it should work. You could also just connect this without the question number thing. No, you have to take it from the question number variable. Let's see if this works now. Okay. So, I'm going to press the button. P1. So text. So this should output P11 and 12. Now this is 1, but it should go to set the number to 11. Yeah. Okay. So the problem here was only that the system was a little bit faster. So it would continue this thing before it even changed this number. So that's why it didn't work. But yeah, this is how you can set up this system. And as I told you, continue with this and always check the numbers and connect them in the right way. And so you can make a very complex tree-like system that's going through all of these things and building an advanced Dialog UI in Rec Room. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like and subscribe the video if you liked it, or leave a comment. You can also leave comments on what you want to see more on this channel. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.